Start to take your breath a little bit deeper and wider. Notice how your body feels this morning. And how are you feeling on the other layers of yourself? And when you hear the word contentment, do you have a sort of connection to a place in your body where that feeling might arise from? Maybe when you hear the word contentment, there is a sense of pushing away. And can you notice the subtle reaction when you hear that word? To cultivate contentment, we have to bring in the practices of acceptance and appreciation. And being and accepting and appreciating ourselves and all of the layers of ourselves that show up. And this will change day to day. So as we go through practice, can you truly accept where you are, what thoughts come to mind, what feelings come to mind? Can you appreciate their presence, even if they might be difficult to accept or to fully own? In our yoga practice, we're looking to accept and appreciate all parts of ourselves, even if it's sort of sticky and our initial sense is to push against it. So as always, layer in kindness and curiosity and see how it goes. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes, circle your wrists and your ankles. And then take a hold of your strap. And raise your right leg up into the air. And place the strap around the base of your toes. And hold the strap in a way that feels good on your shoulders. This morning, it feels good for me to have my hands up close to my foot. But you might have your elbows down along the mat. Just gently lengthen the back of your leg. So each time you exhale, there might be a little bit more space. You can pull your leg in a little bit closer towards your thigh. But do so with a sort of a gentle approach. Can you appreciate that the back of your leg might feel tight? You appreciate the tension that exists in your hamstrings as a way of that keeps your body together, right? Like tightness in your body isn't inherently bad. We're looking for a balance between tightness and openness, where we can move with freedom. Because if we go too far one way, too far towards openness, then it creates instability in our body, which can lead to lots of problems. And bring your leg just a little bit across the midline. Notice any tension or tightness in your hip. And use your breath to sort of soften your edges, soften your approach. Bring your leg back up to center, let it go, lengthen it down towards the mat. And then raise your left leg up. Position the strap, lengthen the back of your neck, relax your shoulders. And tune into your breath and easefully, moving with your breath, guide your thigh towards your belly. Draw your leg across the midline. Gently pull your left hip down towards the mat. Extend your leg up, let go. Put the strap off to the side. As you come up to a comfortable seat, so that might be cross-legged, it might be up on your knees. And as you breathe in, raise your arms up overhead. You might look up or look in front of you. And as you exhale, your arms down. Inhale to raise your arms. You might shrug your shoulders up by your ears. You might look up. And exhale, let your shoulders come down your back, arms come down, and look down. And breathe in. And out. Breathe in, raise your arms up, look up. This time as you breathe out, fold forwards. Walk your hands far forward, stay right up on your fingertips. And let your chest drop down. Walk your hands back towards you. And breathe in, raise your arms. And breathe out, drop your right hand down to the mat and side bend over towards the right. Press your left hip into the floor and see if you can lift up and arc over. Your right arm is soft, your shoulder away from your ear. You can experiment with where you turn your chin and notice what that feels like in your neck. Breathe in, press into the mat, raise your right arm up. And as you breathe out, side bend the other way. Notice if you're gripping in your legs, try and let your legs be soft, shoulders be soft. Breathe into the right side of your body, creating a bit more expansion there, stretching out the muscles between your ribs. They might breathe a little bit deeper. Inhale, come up to center. And this time as you exhale, bring your hands down behind your back, interlace your fingers. Bend your elbows and keep your thumbs up along your spine. Draw your elbows together, your shoulder blades back, look straight forwards. An option here to straighten your arms out and lift your hands away from your back. You might lift your chest a little bit more, maybe your chin lifts, but keep the back of your neck long. Try and soften in your legs. And whether your hands are on your back or lifted away, once more, fold forwards. You might lift your arms up into the air. And then come up, release your hands up alongside your ears, reach all the way up, stretch up. And then twist, right hand behind you, left hand on your right knee. Inhale, lengthen the crown of your head up, and see if you can turn a little bit more. And inhale back to center, raise your arms, and exhale the other side. And your breathing, come back to center, raise your arms. And this time, breathe out, lean back into your hands, roll your shoulders, lift your chest. An option to let your head go all the way back to rest on your shoulders as you open your throat. If your head is back, keep it back, lift your upper body up. And then lift your head up. And roll over onto your hands and your knees. And on your hands and your knees, step your right foot forwards and coming into a lunge. You can either have your fingertips down on the floor or maybe under one or two blocks, depending on the length of your arms. Let's take a few breaths to allow the front of your left leg to open a little bit. And then tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee off. Let's see if you can drop your hips low. Start to press your feet into the mat a little bit more, and particularly your right heel. So here you might keep your fingertips on the mat, or you might bring your hands to a block that's in front, and then press your front leg towards straight-ish. And then bend back into your front knee. Just gently bringing your front leg towards straight. Keep your back heel lifted for now. And then lunge down. Moving back and forth, feeling supported underneath your hands, whether your hands are on the block or on the mat. And this time, as you bring your front leg towards straight, keep your back foot where it is, but press your heel towards the mat. So you're now shifting the focus to your back leg. Your heel might not touch. See if you can lengthen your calf. Reach your heart forward and press into the block. And then bend back into your front knee, bring your back knee down onto the mat. Keep your toes tucked under. Raise your arms and hold on to opposite elbows or opposite wrists. Whether you're holding onto wrists or elbows, create some dynamic tension. So pull your arms apart. Notice how this sort of engages the muscles in your back around your shoulder blades. And you might start to lift your heart up. Keep your chin tucked in though. So it's like you're holding a grapefruit or an orange between your chest and your chin, so the back of your neck stays long. And come on up, hands down to the mat. Come back to hands and knees. And step your left foot forwards. The hands on the block or on the floor. A few breaths in this low lunge, giving time and space for your hips to press forwards. And appreciating that it does take time, accepting that it does take time. And tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. You might have your hands on the block or on the floor. And press into your left heel more than your left toes. Keep your right heel lifted up high to strengthen and stretch your back foot. And then move slowly with your breath, bringing your front leg maybe towards straight, but be mindful of keeping the inside edge of your left foot down on the mat as you straighten and then bend. Straighten and bend a few times. Keep your back heel lifted. And next time you have your front legs towards straight, doesn't have to be fully straight, keep it there. And switch the focus to your back leg by pressing your right heel down towards the mat, stretching your calf. You might bring the block in a little bit closer if you find that you're reaching for it and it's sort of straining your neck. And bend back into your front knee. Bring your back knee down and raise your arms up. Again, hold on to opposite wrists or elbows. Create the dynamic tension. Pull your arms apart. And stay active in your legs. So it's sort of like a little bit of a scissoring of your legs as you start to lift your chest. Keep the back of your neck long. Keep your breath moving. And come up to center. This time you tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, rock back, and then step to the top. Forward fold, top of your mat, hang down. And bend your knees, hands to your hips, and slowly rise. And you take a breath at the top. And stand on your left foot. Lift your right knee forward and bring it out to the side for tree. So avoid your knee joint. Place your foot above or below your knee. And then with your hands on your hips, sort of notice if your one hip is higher than the other or it's sort of further back than the other. Can you keep both hips forwards while you actively press your right knee down and back? And bring your arms out to either side, palms face up. And have a little bend in your elbows to activate your upper arms. And let yourself move as much as you do. If you fall out of the shape, come right back in. And your hands to your hips, turn your knee forward, step your feet together. And then switch sides. Raise your left knee, turn it out. Place your foot. And then assess what's going on with your hips. And press your foot into your leg into your foot. And then extend your arms. And draw your hands back to your hips, turn your knee forward, step your foot down. The arms out in front so they're parallel with the floor, and cross your right arm underneath your left arm. You can reach for opposite shoulders or twist tie. Sit your hips down and back. Cross your right leg over your left leg. Hug your legs together. As you squeeze your arms and your legs together, so you can keep the breath moving. Again, if you're sort of wobbling or you fall out of the shape, come back in. Perfect opportunity to practice acceptance and appreciation. Come up, step your feet together. Unbind your arms, reach them out in front, parallel with the ground. And your left arm underneath your right arm. Sit your hips down and back and cross your left leg over your right leg. Come up to center, step your feet together, unbind your arms. This time, reach your arms up alongside your ears. Press your feet into the mat and start to arc up and back. Keep the back of your neck long again, as if you're holding grapefruit between your chin and your chest. And come up to center. Your arms float down. And then turn so you're in a wide-legged shape. Turn your big toes so that they face in. And fold forwards, wide-legged forward fold.